I'm blind taste testing 96 different branded lagers that I've picked up locally to me. I'm currently in round 1, which is the group stage. The beers have all been divided into groups of 6, and I'm blind taste testing them and putting 2 through from each group. So far I've done groups A to D, and in this video I'm looking at groups E and F. On to group E here, and just get tucked in straight away to beer A. Beer A has a pale to golden colour. It's not the palest we've seen, and it's certainly not the most golden we've seen. Small head on it, carbonation rolling up through the glass. Smells quite grainy. Doesn't smell like malt, smells like grain. Okay, so it's not malted. Weird. All right, let's get in for the taste. No. That's not for me. That's not malt that's coming through on that, unfortunately. Good carbonation on that one that powers through, but that flavour is, I'm not even sure what it is. It's grainy. It's quite weak in overall flavour, sadly. Beer B, slightly darker colour than A there. Again, light carbonation and a small head that's dissipating. On the smell, it has a light malt nose, better than that one. Let's go for a taste. Okay, definitely maltier. Yeah, that has a decent malt profile to it. Good carbonation as well, straight away to begin with, rolling over the tongue. Body feels on the thinner side overall, but it is a decent malt. The nose malt was quite light, but the flavour comes through a bit more. On to C, which looks to be the palest of the ones on here. So this is going towards more straw colour on the glass. Decent head retention on it, nose-wise. Has a slight, it's Euro lager with a skunk nose on it. So yeah, slightly skunked it smells. Let's go for the taste. The skunkness doesn't come through on the taste. It's actually quite clean on the palate. Carbonation is below medium, so there's a bit of carbonation. It's not overpowering, but it's not quite the level that I would want it to be to help roll over the tongue. So carbonation just hits at the front of the tongue. Then the malt, it's there. It's like a cereal flavour, and then it just goes quite quickly and leaves you with like a clean palate. There's a slight like citrus hop in there, or citrus note. I shouldn't really say hop. But yeah, I'm thinking there must be a hop in here as well, because that skunkness, there's definitely some skunkness with the bottle, or I'm hoping it's in a bottle at this stage. Yeah, it's got a slight skunk nose on it, but taste-wise, it's good. On to beer D, which D and E seem to be the darkest on this, so this is definitely going towards gold in colour. The head hasn't retained as much on this, on the nose. It's got like a roasted malt nose, slightly version on toast. Smells decent. Let's go for the taste. Wow, okay. Two things immediately stand out for that. One, very, very malty. I mean, that toasted malt flavor is just all over. Carbonation is low, much like on C here. It's not as good as it could be, but yeah, the flavor is amazing, but also there's a bit of a kick to it, and it feels a bit boozy. But that malt is really good. That's really, really good malty lager. On to E, which, as I said, like D, is the most golden out of the ones on here. Head, again, hasn't retained that well. Nose-wise, it's just a bit of a shame. Yeah, not much of a nose, especially after these two give off quite decent noses. I've gone back to something that's quite lacking in a nose. Let's go for the taste. I'm going to say this is a bit like one. It's quite grainy. It's not malt, it's very grainy. It's quite carbonated as well. So the carbonation is probably above the level where I would enjoy it. Yeah, because the carbonation sits at the back of the tongue there. I like a medium carbonation, which rolls over the tongue and brings the malts with it, whereas a low carbonation just tends to sit at the front of the tongue, and a high carbonation one like this, it just fizzes up all over, and then as you're swallowing, it just leaves that massive carbonation, sitting at the back of your throat. Malt wise, as I said, it's more like grain. It doesn't taste malty. Yeah, that's E. And finally on to F here. This one is the second palest after C. It is moving towards that sort of pale straw colour. Good head on it, nose-wise. It's like C, it's got a Eurolager skunk nose to it. Yeah, that's got a slight skunk nose. I always hope with these don't come through in the flavour. So it didn't with C. Let's hope it doesn't come through on this one. It's not come through in the flavour, so it's not like being light struck badly. But it's clean. It's clean, it's refreshing, but it's bland. There's really no flavour profile to it. It's just a light sort of honey element, malt honey, there, gone. It's just, hi, I'm here, and then I'm gone. So easy to drink. I could see your session in it, but if you're wanting something with an actual taste, it's quite lacking. I think I already know before I go through and retaste these off camera, which two I'm going to put through, but I'm still going to go through and taste them again and then come back in a moment. Okay, so time to put through my top two. It's going to be quite easy. I'll just discount some of the ones immediately. Obviously, A, I'm discounting because it just didn't taste nice. And F, yes, it's clean and easy, but it just had no proper flavour profile. It's just very thin from what was there. So for me, in second place, I'm putting through C. Although the nose had that slight edge of skunk on it, it wasn't skunked in the taste, and it wasn't overpowering actually on the nose either. So if it was too overpowering on the nose, it would have ruined the taste at that stage because you're smelling with your nose while drinking. But otherwise, it was a good beer. And then in first place, it's D here. I have to put it through. It's the most maltiest one so far out of the rounds that I've done. And it's, yeah, really enjoyable. And I think potentially you can see because I've drunk more of it than the rest. But yeah, that's my number one. It's time for Group F. And let's jump into A here. Seems to have quite a bit of carbonation on it there. Head has gone up quite high. Color wise, yeah, it's pale to straw. That is going towards the straw element on it. Nose, okay, it's got a malt nose. Okay, let's get a taste on it. Not sure I'm keen on that one. Yeah, it looks like it's got a lot of carbonation. It doesn't have much carbonation in the mouth at all. The body is okay. So on the mouthfeel, it's decent. But again, the flavor just isn't there for me. It, again, like other ones, comes across a bit grainy. Not really getting malt. I'm getting more grain elements from it. And it's not got that malt taste that I would expect. Has no hot bitterness. Yeah, sadly, a bit lacking that one. On to B. B, a bit more on the golden spectrum here. We are going towards the gold color. Okay, the nose is inviting. It smells fresh. It has that, I've said this, I think, previously as well. It has that like peach note to it. It's just like I sort of pick up on things, but yeah. It smells good. Smells like good cereal. Let's go for a taste. Very drying. Wow, very drying on the tongue there. Yeah, that's very drying. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it dries the tongue out. There's not really much carbonation with it. And the malt is there, but it's not really that enjoyable. There's just something that tastes off with it. Uh, I'm not really describing this well, but yeah, just something that's not quite enjoyable with that. So with the drying element, lack of carbonation, and this slightly grainy, malty flavor. Yeah, not unfortunately that good. On to beer C here, and again, we have a moving towards our golden color on the beer here. That looks good. That nose is smelling good. It's got a slight vanilla malt nose to it. Yeah. It smells like there's sweetness, but good malt. Let's go for a taste. Really good carbonation. That's the level I'm looking for. So the carbonation is not too heavy. It rolls over the tongue. No dry like would be. It doesn't dry the tongue out. And the malt is just present and it sort of covers your mouth, leaves it there wanting you to have some more. It's the words that describe this perfectly is crisp and clean finish. That's what it is. It just has that cereal malty taste in the mouth, and then it's so clean with the finish, but it sort of coats the inside that leaves the flavor there that you want to go back because it's still on in your mouth there. You're like, tastes good, want to go back. All right, got a palate cleanse definitely after that one, big time. I think I'm actually, with the palate cleanses, drinking more water than beer across the whole reviews. Right, on to D. This one is paler in color. It's definitely going towards the straw. That's very pale. Not much on the head or carbonation on it. Nose wise, it does have a malt. It's got a toast nose to it. Okay, so it's toasty in the nose. Let's go for a taste. Carbonation's slightly lacking. It's not completely missing. It's just slightly lacking for me. Not enough carbonation on the beer. The malt flavor is there, but again, like B, it's quite grainy on the malt. It's not as enjoyable. Just something off on it slightly for my tastes. To E. E looks to be just as pale as D here, if not a bit more, but it has a bit of a haze to it. So I'm hoping it's not a chill haze and it's meant to be hazy. There's certainly haze to it. Good carbonation on it. The head is retained well. I'm just going to have to swallow it because the head's quite thick on this one. Very tight bubbles. Yeah. Get the malt through when swallowing the head about. It's a light malt. It is very light. Let's go for a taste. Okay. There is a citrus element to this. Carbonation, it looks decent. It's just a bit lower than what I would be expecting. So it's low to medium in the carbonation. No, I'll take that back. It probably is about right. Yeah, the carbonation is decent. It rolls over the tongue. It is there. It feels a bit thin, though, body-wise. That's what's deceptive. It's quite thin on the body. There is a malt there, but the power, or I should say the flavour, is overtaken by the power of the hop that they've added. So there's like a citrus sort of hop in there, it feels, and it comes through, but it's clean and refreshing. And the final one in this group, which is F, we're going back up towards the golden colour on this one. It does have a head on it that's retained, quite tight bubbles, nose-wise. Yeah, that smells like a nice biscuit malt. Yeah, that's a nice biscuit malt on it. Let's go for the taste. Yeah, that's really good on the taste. I would say carbonation is lacking. So it could do with a bit more carbonation to push that flavour profile around the mouth. But body is good. So it's good mouthfeel on it. And the flavour, it's a really nice biscuit malt flavour. So it is very crisp with that, but it's a single flavour that comes through. And there isn't any like hot bitterness or anything on the ending, but it does come across very nice. I think this one might be a bit of a challenge to decide. I'm going to run through again and hopefully I can come to a decision which two to put through. Okay, after retasting and going through them, I think I've reached a decision. So second place is between these two here. And what I'm going to choose is F. The reason being that I think more malt forward and I'm enjoying that. This is clean with that citrus note on it, but I find F more enjoyable. And then number one is going to be C here. That again, good malt, good nose, and the carbonation is like spot on for me. That was my favorite out of the bunch here.